We're live. Week 3. Rock, Behr, live. Rock, how about that second week? Some crazy games.
Yeah, a few. Yeah, there were definitely a couple surprises. Not as much as week 1, but let's get going on 3.
Yeah, how about that little game, the first game tonight? The New York Football Giants, big time underdog, going to see San Francisco at Candlestick. An early game for the West Coast, Rock. What do you think?
Well, the Giants came back and beat Arizona at the last minute. Mac Jones threw for 312 yards versus the Giants, so you can imagine what Purdy's going to do. 38-10 for the Niners.
All right, so I agree. I think San Francisco's going to win and cover. This should be a big game. No bark, no bite for the Giants.
I got you.
No Barkley, that means. Moving on, Indianapolis Colts. Going to see the Dirty Bears of Baltimore. Baltimore's -8 at home. They look good at home, Rock. What do you think?
Well, they squeaked by Cincy. They did rush for 178 yards versus Cincy. Indy's 1-1. Played Houston and Jacks. It's 7.5. You got to think Baltimore's going to go ahead and cover at home.
I agree. I think Baltimore's going to win and cover that game. It might be a surprise if Baltimore is playing a little bit lax, but they're on a roll. They're 2-0. They want to go ahead and take the game off of Indy, so I agree. They're going to win and cover. Moving on, Tennessee Titans going to see Cleveland without a Chubb. -3.5. But Cleveland's still a favorite at home, Rock. What do you think?
Hunt is back, as you know.
Yep.
Of course, I don't know what kind of shape he's in. I just think that Cleveland held Pittsburgh to 9 first downs. Tennessee's got to do better than that. 3.5. Cleveland will win in overtime.
Cleveland won overtime. Okay. I think Tennessee will actually surprise some people and win this game. Cleveland's defense is tough as nails, but I think they're feeling a little defeated after losing to the Steelers. Without Chubb, yes, Hunt's back. Yes, Ford was able to run the ball. But I think Tennessee's going to have a breakout game this week. It feels like something's saying Tennessee Titans.
Something might happen.
Vrabel.
Something might happen to that Cleveland quarterback. A pick or a run fumble or something. Yeah, Tennessee could do it.
All right. Next game, we have Atlanta Falcons. 2-0, surprisingly, going to Detroit. Detroit looking good. They're at home. -3. They lost the game last week in a last-minute debacle to the Seahawks. I don't think it's going to happen again this week. I like Detroit at home, Rock. What do you think?
Well, Atlanta rushed really well versus the Packers. All right, and they won that game. And Detroit shouldn't even be 101. Now, pick 6 from Kansas City. I'm sorry. They lost to Seattle, who can't cover anybody, as you saw with the Ram game. I'm going with Atlanta.
All right, so we're different. We're different there. We'll see.
All right.
Sunday football. New Orleans going to see Green Bay at Lambeau. New Orleans, tough defense, but their offense with great weapons can't seem to really put anything together. Green Bay, flashes in the pan, or are they for real, Rock? What do you think?
Well, this is where I sort of goofed up on the stats. Atlanta rushed for 211 yards versus Green Bay.
Jesus.
New Orleans got a real good defense, all right? Their 2 wins have been by 5 points. So I'm going with the Packers.
The Packers? Okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. I think New Orleans is slowly figuring things out. I'm going to take them on the road to surprise Green Bay because Green Bay can't seem to stop the run. And Taysom Hill, he's a strategic player. He's kind of a unicorn in the league, kind of running that Wildcat offense. So I'll take New Orleans to win. I think Derek Carr is getting in his groove.
He better.
Yeah, he's due. All right, Houston going to see Jacksonville. Jacksonville -9 at home, rightfully so. They've looked like they've been kind of the real deal. Houston still some question marks for me. What do you think?
Jacksonville couldn't score a touchdown at home versus Kansas City. Now, Houston's not Chris Jones in Kansas City, and Kansas City had a bone to pick. I think you'd think Jackson's going to be PO'd and win by 12. So I'm taking Jacks to cover.
I agree. I think Jacksonville's going to win and cover, and they're going to send Houston down to 0-3. Moving on. Denver. Ponies. Going to the Dolphs. Dolphins are going to be swimming all over these ponies, Rock. What do you think?
Well, the question is Waddle. Now, I heard early week injury reports don't mean anything. He'll be there. I think Miami, San Francisco, and Dallas are the best 3 teams in football. And I like Miami to cover at home. If it was at Denver at 6.5, I might be like, tired. No, Miami big.
All right, Miami big.
Hey, what's Sean Payton worth? Two draft picks? Get out of town.
All right, the Chargers.
All right.
Going to see Minnesota Vikings. Both teams winless. Not after this game. One team's going to have a win. Who's it going to be, Rock? What do you think?
Could be a tie.
Oh, it could be a tie. That's true.
The Chargers, they can throw the ball. Kirk Cousins should have won that game. He ran out of time. He scored 14 points in the second quarter. It's a must-win for the Vikes simply because Detroit's not what we think they are. Like Dennis Green said, we're just what they thought they were.
They're who we thought they were.
They're not any good. They're good, but they're not that good.
Okay.
So that division's up for grabs. Minnesota needs a must-win, and they will at home.
I disagree. I think the Chargers, they're bolted up. They gave that game away.
Yes.
Miami, it was a great game, big scoring points, firing an offense, and then they gave that game away to the Titans in overtime. So 2 really close games.
Okay.
Herbert, if he's going to be, if they're paying him all this money, he needs to show up when it counts at the end of the game and be clutch, not just score a bunch of points early in the game and then let it fizzle away from him. So I think Chargers, statement game. Bolton,
Minnesota picked
Vikings.
up a running back.
They need it.
From either from the Rams or the Chargers.
Interesting. Well,
Ecker, what's his name?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
No, they have a running back.
They have a running back. Well, we'll see if that's enough.
Finally, yeah.
I think the Vikings are going to get the bolt. Moving on. Interdivision game. New England, New Jersey. Jets. Jets, great defense. Patriots have been looking pretty good, but definitely better than years past. Bill Belichick, he's still behind me. He's still at the reins. Rock, what do you think?
Well, think about this. New England lost to Miami and Philly. 2 undefeated teams.
True.
Now the Jets rushed for 172 versus Buffalo,
Sure.
and they're at home. So here's Belichick, who they're coming into their own. They're the kind of team that's going to win 6 in a row. I'm taking the Patties and Belly.
All right, I'm going to go the other way, devil's advocate. I'll take the 2-headed rushing attack of the Jets with Bryce Hall and Dalvin Cook to run away with this game.
All right.
Moving on, Buffalo to go see the Commanders. Commanders 6.5 points dog at home. Kind of an insult for a home game, Rock. What do you think?
Well, according to the injury list, Logan, their good tight end, did not practice. And this was on Tuesday. Washington, we have to remember, 3rd best against the rush. Buffalo, I'm sorry, Josh Allen just doesn't have it. I mean,
3 touchdowns, no interceptions last week.
Yeah, against who? Washington outright upset
Against Las Vegas. All right, not so fast. I disagree. I think Buffalo, they're hot. They're going to be good on the road. Josh Allen, as long as he can manage the game, they're going to win and cover this touchdown spread. Moving on, Carolina Panthers. They're going to roar over to Seattle. East to West Coast travels not very well. Seattle's minus 6.5. Rock, what do you think?
Well, Carolina's played New Orleans and Atlanta. Okay, so they played 2 teams that are 2-0. Seattle, they're probably going to win at home, but they're not going to cover.
All right, let's see. I think I agree with that. Seattle, a tough team. They play well at home with that 12th-man edge. Carolina just can't seem to protect Bryce Young yet, and with some defensive openings, question marks. I think Seattle will win that game.
All right.
Moving on, Dallas Cardinals. Dallas, 12.5-point favorite on the road, going to the desert. They play well in the heat. Cardinals, do they have their mouth full, or are they going to be done? What do you think?
Well, after what we just heard about Trayvon Diggs, that's not going to hurt them against Arizona. Arizona, they've been pretty tough. Mac Jones did throw for 312 yards. So what's Dak going to do? Is Dak going to set his his first game over 300. I think yes. I think Dallas by 17.
I agree. I think Dallas will win and cover this game. The defense is just too good.
Yep.
If Arizona's not going to be able to drive down the field maybe more than one time. They make it one touchdown, maybe a touchdown and 2 field goals, or maybe just a handful of field goals. So
who out there can name the quarterback for Arizona?
Dobbs.
Oh.
No, eyebrowless.
Okay.
Dobbs Lupisha.
All right, let's go. Keep going.
All right,
Sorry
Cowboys
about that.
win and cover. Chicago, Bears going, Chiefs. Chiefs at home. They're fired up. They're ready. I think they're going to make a statement at home, Rock, against the Bears defense. What do you think?
Well, Justin Fields came out on the NFL today making comments about the coaching.
Oh.
Then he sent a text back going, oh, well, I really didn't mean it. Well, hey, guess what? That's a divided team. They're in the toilet. Kelsey's back. Chris Jones is back. This game's liable to be 35-3.
I agree. I kind of see blood in the making.
Oh!
All right, moving on. Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday Night Football.
Tough one.
Going to see the Las Vegas. I don't think this game is tough. Pittsburgh's defense, they lost Fitzpatrick. I'm not sure how long he's out, but their defense looked really good against Cleveland. The two defensive touchdowns. I think that's going to translate well, and I think Las Vegas' defense doesn't have enough tools to stop Pittsburgh if they control the ball.
Not so fast.
All right, what do we think, Rob?
Not so fast. Pittsburgh got 9 first downs against Cleveland. Cam Hayward is gone. So that just leaves who's plenty tough.
Watt, Hightower, they got some tools.
They have some tools, but Vegas beat Denver by 1. All right, so this game, did you have a coin we could flip? I'm going to go with the home team and take Vegas.
All right, I disagree. I think Pittsburgh's going to win by a touchdown.
I hope so. I love Mike Tomlin.
All right, moving on. Monday night doubleheader. The first game, we have Philly going to Tampa. Philly's only -5 on the road here. Tampa Bay, do they have a chance, Rock? What do you think?
Now, it's not Curtis Mayfield. It's Baker Mayfield.
Baker Moneymaker.
I know it. 2-0. They passed for 300. They gave up 328 yards to Kirk Cousins. Unfortunately, Philly has played like dog dick. I would take Tampa almost to win outright, but certainly with 5. So therefore, I've got my ass covered.
I disagree. I think Tampa is taking an L at home. They're going to lose this game. Philly's just going to run all over them, just like Philly did in the later parts of last Thursday's game. They woke up, they realized, hey, let's not get fancy. Let's run the ball down the middle. DeAndre Swift had 170 yards in the ground.
They ran for 259 versus Minnesota.
Exactly. So,
on the road.
And they have rest.
Yeah.
They're rested. They played last Thursday.
There you go.
So I think that's my lock. That's Matt's lock. Philly to win and cover. I like it.
Okay.
Ride with me, boys.
All right.
And girls. All right, the final game. The Monday night finale. Los Angeles Rams going to see Burrow. Burrow, his calf is a little tender, but besides that, this team should not be 1-1. I think they've had a good showing. This team was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Rock, what do you think? Hey, Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago.
Oh boy. Well, I'll just say this: to me, and to a lot of people, the Rams were a big surprise. All right, they gave San Francisco everything they wanted. That was supposedly one of the best games of the week, and they killed Seattle. Cincinnati, Burrow's hurt. Even though they're at home, Rams upset. Win outright.
Rams upset. We'll see. I think that's definitely a possibility. I think this is kind of a must-win game for Cincy. And at home on Monday night, I think they need to make a statement. I think this is going to be a great Monday night game for the later game. I'll definitely have the multi-view up on how both games going on at once. I'll be devil's advocate. I'll take Joe Burrow at home. Hopefully his calf is healed up. I want to see my boy do well. And I think Matt Stafford is going to be feeling a little bit of pressure.
I got to say, something that they say about our president. Joe's got to go. He's injury prone.
No.
He's not going to be around in 2 years.
Joe Burrow,
Joe Burrow's
Biden,
not going to be around in 2 years. All right?
We'll see.
All right.
So, thanks for tuning in, guys. That's it for this week's games. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know what you think down below in the comments. See you next week.